welcome to Rathods IAS Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of yesterday's and today's newspaper. So actually today's newspaper there are nothing much very much important from your examination point of view, and actually today is World TB Day, so most of the articles in our newspaper is related to TB, and apart from that already the topics that we had discussed in our earlier classes has been there in our today's newspaper. So we are going to see only which are the topics relevant from our examination point of view, and I am going to give you good details regarding how question can be asked in your examination, whether it may be prelims, mains or interview. And one more thing here is we in Rathods IAS Academy, we are going to start our new prelims cum mains foundation batch from April 8th onwards. So if you want to choose a right coaching center, and this Rathods IAS is a very good institute where we are focusing on exam and student. And next important one here is we are going to provide coaching on both online and offline, so that you can opt whether offline or online, so whichever it is easy for you. And next one is the medium of classes will be English, so that you can have a good access with the teachers, and even after once class is done you will be also getting doubt clearing, mentorship, regular test, and I will be available for monitoring the students and as well as mentoring the students in the institute itself. So if you have any doubts regarding this foundation course or any queries, you can directly contact us on the number 8074765513. And one more thing here is if you want to visit academy or if you want to directly talk to me, you can come to our academy, which is present in Ashok Nagar, exactly above Vikas Book Center, second and third floor, which is opposite sub register office, and you can directly meet me regarding this course. And now let us see the first article, guys. There are very limited articles that is going to be happen in our discussion. Okay, so now let us see the first article. So if you see the title, guys, it says India imposes anti-dumping duty on Chinese goods for up to 5 years. Okay, so what is the keyword? The keyword here is anti-dumping duty. Okay, let me write keyword here. Keyword is anti-dumping duty. So who is imposing on whom? So this title is clearly saying that India is imposing this anti-dumping duty on China. Okay, so from which subject you can see this, guys? So anti-dumping duty is very important topic in your GS paper 3 under economy. Okay, so what you have to see? You have to see what is this anti-dumping duty. Okay, and you have to see why India wants to impose this on this Chinese goods, and you have to see on which goods this anti-dumping duty is imposed, and you have to see what is the impact. What is the impact of this anti-dumping duty? So if you cover all these things, then it is done. Okay, from your both prelims and as well as means point of view. So now I want to give you a clarity regarding what is this anti-dumping duty. So as you all know that what will be there in the trade, we have two components. Imports will be there and exports will be there. So if you go to market, normally in India, if you go to any shops, for example, shops of toys or shops of anything, electronics, etc. So we commonly see made in China goods, yes or no? And what is the specialty of this made in China goods? So they are cheaper. Yes or no? They are cheaper compared to that of other country goods, especially if you're comparing India and China goods. China goods will be cheaper, and what are the features of this goods will be also superior. Quality will be superior and as well as even cheaper. So what happens in our market whenever we are having cheaper goods and as well as costly goods with the equal quality? Obviously, we'll be preferring this Chinese goods. So what happens because of this? It will lead to decreasing of consumption of our Indian goods. That means who will be getting affected? Obviously our domestic companies. Obviously our domestic companies. Domestic companies are nothing but Indian companies will be getting affected. So to protect our Indian companies or domestic companies, now our government comes under this anti-dumping duty. Anti-dumping duty is nothing but especially on the goods which are dumped by other country with a very low price. That means for very cheaper products from the countries which are entering into our India, to protect our domestic industries or indigenous industries, our government will be imposing this anti-dumping duty. That means it will be imposing on exports or imports. Yes, on imports of our country, we are imposing this anti-dumping duty. Okay, so because of this imposition of this anti-dumping duty, what is the impact? So first one here is, which goods will be getting costly? Imported goods will be getting costly. So that we are focusing on increasing of consumption of domestic goods. That means indirectly we want to go for protection. We are going for protection of our indigenous companies or domestic companies. So this mechanism is called as protectionism. Okay, clear? And next what you have to see is now on which products it is imposed. It is very important. So this anti-dumping duty is not imposed on all products which are coming from China. Only we are imposing on 5 products. What are they? Have to see. Okay, so why we discussed and what we discussed and what is the impact we discussed. So now let us see this article, what it's saying exactly. Okay, so if you see this article, it is saying that India has imposed anti-dumping duty on 5 goods of China. That means 5 goods which are coming from this China, we are imposing this anti-dumping duty. Okay, so what are those products? Soft ferrite cores. Next one is insulated flask, aluminium foil, trichloroisocyanuric acid, polyvinyl chloride paste resins. So these are the 5 products on which India imposed anti-dumping duty, and these products are coming from China because they were exported by China to India. That is below normal price. That is very cheaply they are sending to India. So because of that, they are using India as a dumping site. So for that, we are imposing this anti-dumping duty so that we are controlling this prices of this goods which are coming from this country, and even we are trying to protect our traditional or domestic or indigenous industries in our country. Clear? So now let us see some facts regarding this anti-dumping duty. Anti-dumping duty, it is a protectionist tariff that domestic government imposes on foreign imports. So if other country is exporting the goods with a very cheaper, that is below normal level, means yes, we can impose this anti-dumping duty. So what is the meaning of dumping? You know about this dumping yard, right? So dumping yard is a place where we are piling up of with the waste. So here in this context of economy, dumping is a process where a company exports a product at a price which is significantly lower than the price it normally charges in its home country. That means, for example, if you're selling a product, for example, water bottle. So what is the minimum price? It will be like 30 rupees to 100 rupees, right? So if other country products are entering into our India at a very cheap cost, it is around 10 rupees, 8 rupees, 5 rupees, means no, with the comparing that of the normal price in that country, that good is very low cost. That is called as dumping. Okay. So this duty is priced in an amount that equals to the difference between the normal cost of the products in importing country and as well as market value of the similar goods in the exporting country. That means, for example, if you're taking a bottle, so these bottles are manufactured in India and as well as they're coming from China. So in India, we are selling based on the quality of that so and so bottle. For example, we are selling it for 30 to 50 rupees. When we are importing that same bottle from China, they are selling for 10 rupees. So what is the difference? Difference is around 20 to 40 rupees. So here we want to make this Chinese bottle which is costing same with the Indian bottle in the Indian market. So they will be imposing anti-dumping duty. So how much? So we will be imposing certain amount so that we can make Chinese bottle and India's bottle is of same price in the market, so that we will not favor one country's product in our country. So that is called as anti-dumping duty. Okay. Okay, now next one here is, so it is imposed by businesses, government, especially to protect the local business, that is domestic business or domestic industries. And next one here is the important use of this anti-dumping measures. It is to provide fair competition, and even WTO also accepted it. So if one country good is very less, means it will lead to the destruction of traditional companies or domestic industries of that country. So under this WTO also, yes, we have this mechanism of anti-dumping duty. So you have to remember that. That's it. And one more important point here is, so which is the final authority to make the decision, that is Ministry of Finance makes a final decision on whether to impose this anti-dumping duty or not. So you may get a question, it is like which of the following authority will be taking decision for imposing of anti-dumping duty. Okay, for example, they may give an options like RBI, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Trade. So it is nothing but Ministry of Finance. You have to be very much clear about that. Okay, now let us see the next article. Title says petty politics. Delaying the census aids politicization of delimitation issue. So actually it is not at all a new topic. So we are seeing this topic from last 1 to 2 months, right? So what are the keywords here? So keywords here is, the first one is census. Second one is delimitation. So where you will be studying about this delimitation, guys? From GS paper 2 under polity. Under this governance, that is GS paper 2 under governance, we will be studying about the census, and even you will be having you will be reading also the history of the census from your modern history, which is part of your GS paper 1. So when this census had been started, so who was the governor general or viceroy, okay, in which year it was started, and full-fledgedly after we got independence, when we started. So what is the latest census data? So like that you will be also getting some questions regarding the history also. So what are the dimensions you have to see, guys? So regarding census, you have to see about historical data. So when the census was started in India, and you have to see when the complete census had been started, and who was the governor general or viceroy during that time. Okay, you have to see this. And even from post independence India point of view also, you have to see about census. So when we did this census after we got independence, at that time what are the criteria we took, on based on which criteria we came up with the collection of data. And next you have to see what are the challenges we faced at that time, so whether those challenges still persistent today or not, what are the issues, what are the concerns. So all these things that you have to see from the census. And next one is delimitation. So you have to see about what is the meaning of delimitation. Okay, and you have to see about this delimitation act in India, and so far how many times we went for delimitation in India, and what are the advantages of these delimitations, and you have to see what are the challenges in this delimitation, and what are the people concerns, and you have to see about what is the way forward. So all these things that you have to do, guys. Okay, and actually this article is talking about one important challenge regarding this delimitation. So actually delimitation will be done based on the population data. So what is the last census that we had? It is 2011. So because of this, what happened now? We are going for this census, right? So based on this census, we are going for again delimitation. So actually the concerns which is mainly showed by southern state of our country. So if you see about the southern states, so we have Tamil Nadu here and we have Kerala here, right? So if you compare with this north and southern states, so which are developed states? Southern states are developed compared to that of northern states. Northern states are less developed. They are developed. So if you compare these two countries, these two parts, that is northern India and southern India especially. So here where this TFR is more, TFR is high in this northern part. Okay, TFR is nothing but total fertility rate. That means nothing but overall population is high in this northern states compared to that of the southern states, right? So delimitation is nothing but based on the population, number of population. So we are going for redrawing of territorial boundaries for allotting of seats to Lok Sabha and as well as state legislative assembly. So because of this, the concern of the southern states here is, yes, we took lot of steps for decreasing of population. We took lots of steps for decreasing of population and we are getting punished for that. Why? If population is decreasing, if TFR is decreasing, the total number of seats from this area will be decreased compared to that of northern states. So this is the one important concern of the southern states. Okay. So now actually this article is saying that if even when we are going for delaying of census of this 2026, then this problem of delimitation will be further extended. So as soon as possible, you have to complete this census and based on that data, they have to go for delimitation. So this is the one important article which is there in your newspaper. Okay. So now let us see this article clearly. This article is saying that delaying the census aids politicization of delimitation issue. Okay. So here recent meeting held in Chennai on March 22nd and they said that yes, we need to come up with a proper dialogue regarding the delimitation of parliamentary constituencies in India. Okay, and they also this so and so meeting had been organized by state joint action committee. Okay, and they are focusing on collecting or like gathering of some important political figures, especially 4 chief ministers of southern states. So the important aim of this meeting, it is to address concerns regarding the representation in this Lok Sabha and as well as state legislative assembly based on the population figures. Okay, so if you see here, this article is saying that, so recently the meeting held, and this meeting in Chennai indicates that, yes, especially there are lots of concerns which are arising from the southern states compared to that of northern states. Okay, so we need to go for proper adjustments in parliamentary representation because each and every state should be represented clearly in the Lok Sabha. Then only their problems will be getting addressed or else it not leads to the cooperative federalism. Cooperative federalism will be getting affected if states are not properly represented in this democratic country. And second one here is, yes, unity across political divides. So actually the leaders from the different and diverse political background, so they have a common goal, especially in the southern states. Okay, that means we need a collaborative policy making regarding this delimitation. And next one here is even this meeting which mainly reflects that there is a concern about the disparities in representation. It is also one historical concern because whenever we are changing or whenever we are coming up with this new census data, obviously the population number will be getting changed. So because of this, what happened? The based on this current demographics, especially the southern states had already made some considerable progress in controlling of population and as well as they will be also having some political influence, etc. So because of this, it is going to having affected. And this one here is this article is saying that we need a proper governance transparency. So ongoing delay in initiating this delimitation commission and as well as census, which has raised questions about whether government is transparent or not. So public officials, they have to communicate effectively with the people and with the concerned state, especially regarding the delays why it is happening, and they have to engage with various political entities promptly so that there will be no gap of information between these two. So that obviously we can improve trust and as well as transparency in this governance system. So this is about this topic. And now let us see the next article. Title says need for universal and equitable health coverage. So this article mainly talking about TB. So actually we are celebrating World TB Day. Okay, so this article is especially focusing on we have to integrate this TB into universal health coverage so that we can achieve our target of eliminating of TB or else we can't in India. So this is the idea of this article. So actually you have to know about some important programs and policies which are given here. So what is the recent update regarding the TB? So we had new regimen called as BPAL. You have to know that. BPAL. So BPAL, it is a combination of drugs called as bedaquiline, pretomanate and linezolid. So actually why we are using this? Traditionally if you are taking about the drugs or the medicine used for TB, we have first line antibiotics and second line antibiotics. Okay, so we have a problem called as antimicrobial resistance regarding this TB. And what are the treatments that you are taking for this TB should be like more than 1 year to 2 years. You will have to take daily antibiotics. If you miss in middle, you will be getting antibiotic resistance. So for that problem, we came up with one efficient drug regimen now, that is BPAL regime. So the advantage of this BPAL is there is a decreased time of taking these antibiotics and they are more effective compared to that of traditional antibiotics. So this is one important advancement which happened. And second advancement in India is Nikshay Poshan Yojana. So under this, actually, TB patient will be getting monthly 500 rupees of cash, okay, for maintaining of their nutrition. But now this had been increased to 1000 rupees now. So it is one advancement in our TB thing. And next one here is, yes, we have a target. So if you see this paragraph, it is saying that, yes, there is 17.7 percentage of decline of TB incidence in India. Okay, that is 237 per 1 lakh population 2015 to we decreased it to 195 per 1 lakh population 2023. And actually, one important success of India's TB program is there is 21.4 percentage of reduction or decreasing of TB related deaths in India. Okay, that is the one thing that you have to see. And you have to see about decentralizing TB care for all. So this paragraph is very important, guys. Okay, so now let us see what this article is talking about regarding how we can include this TB under this universal equitable health coverage, so that what will be the advantage we have. Okay, so this article is saying that integration of TB services within broader public health system, it is a one important key for India's pursuit of equitable universal health coverage for all. So if you see the details, it is saying that, yes, we took lot of steps. For example, we have Poshan and we have new regimen of drugs. So because of all of this, yes, we are effectively controlling this TB, and we also saw about the data or statistics regarding this TB deaths in India, right? So here this article is saying that not only coming up with the schemes, but even we need to focus on complex disease, and especially this disease is not only related to this bacteria which is coming and which is affecting the people, but it is also related to socio-economic factors. That means people who are living in less sanitated areas, people who are having low income levels, so they will be getting this disease more. That means it is also related to socio-economic factors. So actually this article is saying that community involvement or community engagement is the key for tackling of this disease. Especially we have to increase the involvement of community members and as well as TB survivors, especially so that we can improve the participatory health programs. And we should provide initiatives not only like criteria for support, but also we have to increase the credibility and as well as reach of that programs to the ground level. And next one here is we have to focus on sustainability as well. So how we can focus on sustainability? We can integrate TB services within already existing healthcare frameworks, okay, so that we can go for that, so that we can improve the cohesive health policy, and we can also improve care, and as well as we can also encourage community level participation, and as well as disease management, everything we can do it very effectively. And next one here is we have to focus on even awareness of the people. So for example, if there is any TB patient who came to hospital and if he's taking this antibiotics, we have to give the clear cut guidelines regarding antibiotics. So what the time they have to take. Initially, at least minimum 1 year of antibiotics they have to take, and they have to miss the dose, and they have to not double the dose. So like that, what are the effective things that should be given? So we have to give that very clearly to the patients. And next one is we have to go for a proper communication with the patients, and we have to advise them that regularly they have to go for checking up of the level of antibiotics, and as well as the level of microorganisms which are present in their body, and they have to even see about the responsiveness of their body towards the disease, so that we can improve overall health seeking behavior. Not only providing healthcare services is important, but even we have to get this health seeking behavior from the patients. If the patients are not accepting, if the patients are not taking the drugs on time, then will they recover from the disease? No, right? So we need even proper health seeking behavior as well. And next one here is we have to go for even financial implication for care seeking choices. So actually, if you get any disease, normally we will be visiting private hospitals rather than the public hospitals, right? So actually in the same way, so whenever the TB, the attacking the people, so the people will be going to this private hospitals. About 50% of the people, they will be getting services from this private healthcare institutions. So what happens if they go to private hospital, they have to do the diagnostic test, for example sputum analysis, for example chest x-ray, like that. So because of that, what happened, out of the pocket expenditure will be very high. So because of this, what happens, sometimes the families, they cannot afford that much money for their treatment. So in between they will be stopping. So because of this, what happens, it will become dreadful, right? So even we have to focus on enhancing of public healthcare services, and we have to manage this public healthcare services very clearly, and we have to improve the infrastructure like x-rays and like sputum analysis, laboratory centers, everything that we have to develop well in this public healthcare systems, so that we can make the rights and as well as available services under this public health programs to the people. And this one here is even we have to focus on the human resources as well. That means nothing but the people who are working in that hospital. For example, we have nurses, we have attenders, like that, staff. So we need to focus on adequate training and as well as support for this healthcare officers. Okay, so those things that we have to focus on so that we can combat this TB effectively. And there is one more article regarding this TB, guys. See this, imaging a 360 degrees and comprehensive TB care response. So this article, which is mainly given by, actually this is analysis of these two persons who are the director of REACH. REACH is a non-profit organization, and this organization which is working for last 25 years. So actually NGO, it is an important topic in your anthropology paper too, and as well as you have this topic even in your governance, right? So whenever you're getting this kind of articles, so you have to make a note of this NGOs, and whenever writing an answer about NGOs, you have to add on these examples. REACH, it is a non-profit organization which is working for TB for last 25 years, like that. Okay, so in this way you can add a value for your answer, guys. And now let us see the context. So this article is saying that yes, we need to effectively combat TB in India, and for that we have to focus on well coordinated TB care pathway. So here this article is saying that TB, which is mainly caused by what? Microorganism, that is bacteria. What is the name of that? Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So it will be affecting primarily your lungs. Apart from that, even other body parts will be, or other body organs will be also get affected, right? So this article is saying that TB is not solely a medical condition, but even it is a socio-economic issue, because the physiological burden will be there. For example, if a person who got TB, so will you accept that person to sit beside you or to talk beside you? Will you share the things? No, right? So there will be the societal stigma. And next one here is, yes, they can't get proper opportunities of jobs, so that they will be having economic struggles. That means financial burden will be there, obviously. And as well as we don't have the certain proper public health care management for this TB also. And next one here is, this article is saying that we need good public healthcare system. So because this public healthcare system now, it forms a backbone for effective TB treatment, so that we have to provide proper medicines and as well as trained personnel and as well as facilities. And this one is, we want to go towards a person-centered care. So actually TB, which is mainly affecting children, elderly, adolescent, and even adult people. So whenever we are having one size fit for all approach, it will not work, because different sections of people are getting affected, and there is difference in the growth and development when we are compared to that of males and females, young people and elderly people. So we should not have a one size fit option. So especially if you go to market, normally I think you might have observed there will be 500 mg tablets or 250 mg tablets or 650 mg tablets. So for children, we can't give this 500 mg. So we have to decrease that dose. And whenever you are taking any medicine, you have to calculate your medicine based on your BMI and as well as based on your body mass. Okay, that means some people who are having more age, for example 30 plus, but even their weight is less. So in that weight less people, they have to take the less dose, or else it will lead to overdose. So like that, we should not have a one size fit approach for this TB management. So we need to have a patient centric or person centric approach. So actually in foreign countries, if you go to any hospital or any pharmacies, they will be calculating the medicine on that time and they will be giving based on that. So they will be not having the ready-made medicines as we do. Okay, and next one here is we have to engage with the TB survivors also, like what are their experiences whenever they are taking medicine. So what kind of negative things they had, like adverse drug reactions or any side effects, and based on that we can go for taking the proper valuable policies, and as well as we can make the important programs based on that, because already the people who survived, they had faced lot of struggles, right? So based on the problems of that people, so we have to engage with the awareness programs for the TB patients, and as well as we can come up with a new policy so that it will be benefiting the lot of the people. And next one here is we have to use even media so that we can increase awareness, and we can also promote public awareness. We can also mobilize the resources by using this media. And even whatever there is under corporate social responsibility, it is nothing but 2% of the profits of a company they will be using in socio-economic development of a country. So we can also use this corporate social responsibility against this TB also. And this one is we have to focus on long-term commitments, not short-term commitments at all, because TB will take like 1 year, 2 years or 3 years to cure. Okay, so based on that we have to go for only long-term commitments, not short-term. And if you see some facts regarding this TB, it is an infectious disease which mainly caused by bacteria, not virus. That is Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and it will be primarily affecting your lungs. And if you get this TB, what are the signs and symptoms that you know? Cough will be there, fever will be there, and even sneezes sometimes. And whenever you're coughing, if you are in a very advanced stage, then you will be also getting blood from your mouth, that is called as uh, hematapsis, like that. Okay, and actually it is one of the world's leading infectious disease killer also, and it is leading to the cause of deaths among the people with HIV, and it is also a major contributor of death which is related to antimicrobial resistance. So in this disease, if you are stopping taking medicine, especially antibiotics, that will lead to the antibiotic resistance or antimicrobial resistance. If once this happens means, so no other medicines will work on that. So because of this, it will lead to ultimately death of a person. And we have TB related vaccine that is called as BCG vaccine, especially children as soon as they are born. So they will be getting this BCG vaccine for sure. Okay, and if you're talking about the data regarding TB in India, according to WHO Global Tuberculosis Report 2024, so India continues to lead the global TB burden. And how many people in India are having this TB? That is 26% of TB case and deaths. They are present in India if you compare in the world. And India is followed by, next one is Indonesia 10%, China 6.8, Philippines 6.8, and Pakistan 6.3. Okay, and if you see what are the steps taken by our country to make India free of TB, it is very important. So first one is National Tuberculosis Elimination Program, and it was being forefront. It is one of the ambitious goal of our country to end this TB by 2025, but because of this COVID-19 pandemic, it had been delayed. Okay, and what are the key achievements under this program? So we decreased TB. Okay, we decreased TB, for example, 17.17% of decline of TB incidents that happened. And next one is we also increased the diagnostic test reach to the people, and we also reduced this treatment regimen, which is of short period, for example, BPAL regime. And next one here is, apart from that, we have Pradhana Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan, and we are providing people with TB with additional nutritional support. And next one is Nikshay portal. As I said, we increased this cash to this people who are suffering with this TB from 500 to 1000 rupees. And next one is we have universal drug susceptibility testing, so that we can identify drug resistant strains also. And this one is we got with this new drug regime, that is BPAL. And what are the challenges we have? The first one is undernutrition. So there is increased poverty in India, increased hunger, so that there is malnutrition. If you are having any disease and if you are not focusing on your diet, then obviously that condition will be getting worsened. So that is happening with this TB. Okay, undernutrition, comorbidities, it is one important reason for rising of this burden. And this one is migrant workers. So because of poor access to the healthcare, because of poor access to the sanitation, so there is increased TB rate in these people. And next one here is there is also supply chain disruptions. So whenever we are not getting proper drugs, as you all know that in pharmaceutical companies we have APIs, that is active pharmaceutical ingredient, which is the active medicament that we'll use in the making of tablets. Actually India will be getting this APIs from China. If suddenly China blocks this, means obviously our pharmaceutical sector will be getting affected and the drugs will be getting affected. So people will be not getting drugs on the time. So this is also one important problem that we have, that is supply chain disruptions. And this one here is diagnostic delays. Okay, for example, if you're getting this pulmonary TB, means if you're getting cough or sputum with blood, chills, etc., then you can go for chest X-ray. What if you got extra pulmonary TB, like if your eyes get affected by the TB or if your kidneys are getting affected by the TB, so we don't have proper diagnostic things. Okay, so that is one important problem to diagnose is TB which is affecting other than your lungs. It is called as extra pulmonary TB. And actually there are around 24% of notified cases in this extra pulmonary TB itself. Okay, now recently India came up with one program, that is 100 days TB elimination program, and you have to add a note of it also. So this initiative, which is mainly implemented in 33 states and UTs, and actually we are focusing on enhancing of TB detection. Okay, that is nothing but we have to reduce what are the diagnostic delays we have, and we have to improve treatment outcomes. And the goal it is to eliminate TB by 2025 ahead of global target. Global target to end TB is 2030 and India's target is to end TB by 2025. Okay, so that is the thing. So these are some important things that you have to remember, and there is nothing much important in your newspaper rather than this. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much guys for watching, and please do like this class and share this class to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathods Academy.